Hello my dear students, welcome to computer science class. So today we shall continue with our topic, that is jump statements. Before we start, now let us have a quick glance on why we should study this jump statement. What is its main purpose? The first purpose is it would terminate the execution of the loop. Okay, so for example, we have seen that break statement. Break statement is a one which would terminate the execution of the current loop. Similarly, in your program, if it demands to complete execution of the, complete immediate termination of the entire program, then we should study the jump statements. Similarly, if a program demands we're halfway through to skip the loop, suppose if any set of statements are under the iteration, if they are repeating at certain point of iteration, we want to skip one iteration and then we shall start with the new beginning of the iteration. In that case also we need to study the jump statements. So in our previous video we have already discussed about the break statement. Break is the one which can be used with the switch case, which is a multiple branch selection statement, where it would terminate the particular case and the control would come out of the switch case, isn't it? So similarly, this break statement was also being used with the looping statements like while, do while, for looping, where it causes an immediate termination of the current loop. Now we shall discuss the next jump statement, that is exit function. So this exit function is very important and an interesting jump statement. So this exit function is one of the standard library function. Okay, to use this exit function we need to use an header file known as stdlib.h. we need to include in our program, that is stdlib.h, that header file we should include. Therefore I can refer this exit function as standard library function. Now what is the main purpose of this exit function? The main purpose is to terminate the execution of the program itself. The program would entirely terminate and it would return some value to the operating system on successful or on unsuccessful of the execution of the program. See, what do you mean by successful and what do you mean by unsuccessful execution of the program? Suppose if the program executes with normally with a given input producing the correct output, then I can say it is a successful execution of the program. Suppose if the program gets terminated because some error has encountered or any undesired results if it has reached, then abruptly terminating the entire program, that is nothing but the unsuccessful execution of the program. So this exit function would return an integer value, that is either 0 it will return or it returns 1. Suppose if this exit function, if it is returning 0 value to the operating system, then operating system will understand that it is a successful execution of the program. If this exit function, if it is returning the value as 1 to the operating system, then it is understand that some error or any unexpected results have happened while the execution of the program. I hope children you are able to understand. When we see the programming examples, you will clearly understand. Fine. Let us see the general syntax of exit function, that is exit followed by the round parenthesis and then followed by a semicolon. This parenthesis, round parenthesis, indicates that it is a function, exit function. Understood? Now this exit function take an integer argument, either that is 0 or 1. So this exit of 0. So exit of 0 means this is the value which is being returned to the operating system. Exit of 1 means what? This is the value that is returning some value to this particular operating system. On successful execution of the program, exit function would return the 0 to operating system. On unsuccessful or any error or any undesired results if it is leading to, if it has happened, then this exit of this is one value, integer value will be returned to the operating system. I hope children you are able to understand. Now this is again a general syntax, either this or this. This is a general syntax without any argument. Now this is a general syntax with the argument. This is void. So there is void in the sense here void is there. Void in the sense what? It doesn't have any return type, isn't it? And then int is a data type, followed by this is a variable name, wherein this return code may hold the value 0 or this return code may hold the value as 1. As I said, the exit function, to use this exit function we need to include the header file known as standard library stdlib.h. std stands for standard, lib stands for library, followed by .h, which indicates it is a header file. I hope children you are able to understand, like how we are including hash include iostream.h, hash include conio.h. Similarly, if we are using an exit function in our program, we need to include hash include stdlib.h, header file has to be included. I hope you are able to understand. Let us see the program here. Now this is a program to test the given number whether it is a prime or not. We already know what is exactly the prime number is. Prime number is a 1 which is divisible by itself or by 1. We can refer it as a prime number. Any prime number that is having any integer divisors, then we cannot refer it that particular number as we cannot refer it as a prime number. We have to say it is not a prime number. Say for an example 8. 8 I can say it is not a prime number because it is having its integer divisors like 2 and 4. Am I right? As well as 8 also, and as well as 1. And for an example I can say 5 is a prime number. 5 is a prime number because 5 is a number which is divisible by itself and it is divisible by 1 and it is not divisible by any other numbers. Therefore I can say 5 as a prime number. Similarly, whenever I say the number as 20 we all know it's not a prime number because 4 5s are 20. It's having its divisor. But look at the range of integer divisors. Always the integers divisors will be half of the given number. Therefore, when I refer it as 20, the half of this given number range would be 2 to 10. So their integer divisors lie between 2 to 10. So 20 cannot 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 cannot divide the number that is 20, but within the range 2 and 10 there are the divisors of the number that is 20. I hope you are able to understand this because in previous video class also we have seen the same program, but only thing here is I want you to execute and show how exactly exit work, how it is different from the break statement. Understood? Therefore the for loop is being set. Now here the header files have included, followed by the two variables known as n and I of data type that is integer. N I have used because whenever I can ask the user to enter the value or the number, that value will be stored in a variable n, and therefore because I said the range will be always half and starts with the 2, I is equal to 2. I should be less than or is equal to n by 2 and we are incrementing the value of I here. And then on satisfying this condition, the control definitely moves to the true part of the for loop, that is if statement, that is n mod I. That is if I am taking 20 and the first value of I would be 2, whether 2 is less than or is equal to 10 it would be. On satisfying this condition, I am trying to do the modulus operation 20 mod 2. Whether 20 mod 2 is it completely divisible and the remainder I am getting as 0? Yes. If so, if n mod I, if it is so, then I can refer it as, on satisfying this, the control definitely makes an entry into the loop where it is printing that it's not a prime number. After once it encounters that it's not a prime number, if it is printing, the control definitely goes to the next statement where it is encountering as exit of 0. When it encounters exit of 0, what is the main functionality of this exit? It abruptly or immediately terminates the execution of the entire program. Automatically the control comes out of the program. It will immediately terminate the execution. The control comes directly to the program. wherein it will be in the form of execution mode, or it will come out of the execution mode and the control come back to the program. I hope you are able to understand. Now let me explain this one. The program tracing we shall see, and then I'll show you the practically how the exit works. So here you see I have written just the code I have written here. Now let us take the n value to be as 10. If I am taking the n value 10, definitely their integers numbers lie between 2 to 5, isn't it? So I is equal to 2. 2 is less than or is equal to 5, children. The condition is true. On satisfying this condition, we are executing the true part of this for statement. What is there in the true part? Whether 10 mod 2 is 0. Yes, because what? 2 5s are 10, where I got the remainder as 0 here. So because this condition is satisfying, control makes an entry into the loop where it's print me as it is not a prime number. Okay, so therefore I'll get the output as it's not a prime number. After followed by we got exit of 0. Once it is exit of 0, abruptly the execution of this program will stop and the control comes from this execution. The control directly goes to the program code where you have written. Okay, I hope you are able to understand. I'll show practically how to execute the function. Now here is another example I have taken. Okay, exit of 0, exit function forcing a return value to the operating system. OS stands for operating system. If it is exit of 0, means the program has finished the execution normally or successfully. Exit of 1, if it is returning some error or unexpected results happen. Now in this example, if you observe, I have used the exit of 0 in our previous example. One second. Yeah, here I have used exit of 0. This exit of 0 indicates on successful of execution. Okay, successful of execution. Now let us take the value as n to be as 4. Now 4 means definitely its integer devices will be half of that, that is 2 only. So my loop also starts from I is equal to 2. So whether 2 is less than or is equal to n by 2 it is. So 4 by 2, that is 2 again. 2 is less than or equal to 2. At least it is equals to. Yes, the condition is true. On satisfying this condition, we are checking for the if condition. Whether 4 mod 2, whether it is resulting in 0. Yes, because 2 2s are 4. Therefore, it is not a prime number. Soon it encounters the exit of 0, wherein immediate termination of the program takes place. Now let me execute this program and show you so that you can clearly understand. Okay, one second. Before that, one more example we shall see, children, wherein the iteration would take place. That is the previous example. Yes, this one. Let me consider n value to be as a 7. Okay, so I is 7 means definitely what happens, half of it would be like 3.5, but because the data type we are using as integer, we will take as 3 only. 0.5 will be truncated. So I is equal to 2. 2 is less than 3, the condition is true. Since the condition is true, it is making an entry into the loop. 7 mod 2 it is checking. 7 mod 2 whether it is resulting in 0, the condition is false. Because the condition is false, it is not making an entry into the loop. In fact, the control goes back to the increment operator and the I value gets incremented. Remember this part. Okay, I value gets incremented. See, on satisfying this condition only we are making the loop entry. Then when we are coming out of the loop, only when this particular condition is fails. But here what happens? In the previous example, 7 mod 2 is it 0? It's false. So because false, I gets incremented. Then at the next iteration, I value will be definitely 3. Whether 3 is less than or is equal to 3, yes, the condition is true. Again, we are making an entry into the if condition. There we are going to the true part of the for loop, that is if condition, to check whether 7 mod 3 is equal to 0. No, false. Again, I gets incremented. When I gets incremented, the value would become 4. 4 was less than or is equal to 3. The condition is false. Once this condition is false, we are never entering into this particular loop. Therefore, the control, then this is false, no, the control 4 is less than or equal to 3, condition fails. The control directly jumps outside the for loop and control goes to the next statement. What is there in the next statement? The next statement, it is printing that prime number. Therefore, we can refer that 7 is a prime number. I hope children you are able to understand. Now let me execute and show you the program. Now see, this is the same code I have written, children, here. Okay, I hope you are able to see. Now let me first compile. I got 0 errors. Let me run the code. Okay, now let me give the value as a 7 here. Okay, when I give the value as a 7, 1 second. Now when I give the value as 7, okay, and when I give the enter here, see, it is giving me, it is a prime number. Just now we have seen the tracing of this particular input. Now let me give any one of the prime number, then you can see the exit function. Okay, I'll just run the code. This time I'll give the value as 20. I give the input as 20. See, exit. Actually, for you, it should print that it's not a prime number. Before it prints, the control will automatically goes to the next. Now, when the control will be here, it sees this one, and at the time of printing only, the controller compiler will be very fast. The control jumps to the next statement. But what is there in the next statement? That is exit of 0. This makes the abruptly terminate the execution of the program, and the controls will come back to the program code. That's what I was telling. So here we shall see the output. There is a window. There is an option known as output. Click on the output. See, it prints me that it's not a prime number. Let me show it. See, it's not a prime number. I hope children you are able to understand. Let me show one more output. I'll show you. Let me give this time the number as 12. As we all know, the 12 is not a prime number. See, exit. Why it is happening? Because here when it encounters 12 mod 2, when it encounters, is it equals to 0? Yes, the condition is true. Once the control compiler comes here, it sees this statement and it will be printing on the output screen, and the meantime the control will go to the next statement and it encounters exit of 0. Once the moment the exit of 0 is been there, irrespective of any of the action performed, firstly it stops the execution mode and the control will come back to this programming mode. Therefore we have come out of the execution. Therefore now we shall see the output. So under the window option there is an output. Click on the output. See, it says that it's not a prime number. I hope children you are able to understand. Now let us go back to the program, that is PPT. We shall go back to that. Okay. I hope children you are able to understand how exactly the exit will work. Now moving to the next topic, that is the next jump statement, that is continue. Continue is again one of the interesting jump statement it is. Now what is this continue? Why we need to use? See, in some situation it so happens that we want the control back to the beginning of the loop. Okay, suppose for example I have set the loop from I is equal to 2, okay, and I should be less than or is equal to 10 and I plus plus. So now when the iteration is going, how many times the repetition happens? Till the number is less than or equal to the 10. Maybe when it encounters the number 4, at that time I want to skip that particular iteration and I want the next new iterations to be started, like 1, 2, 3. Fourth iteration should be skipped and we should start with the 5th, 6th, 7th, like that it should continue. In such case where we want the control back to the beginning of the loop by passing certain condition, then we should use this particular continue statement. Understood? It makes it causes the program to skip the rest of the loop in the current iteration. That means, as I said, 1, 2, 3, fourth iteration, that is if I am there in the current iteration, it will skip, and again 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th till 10th iteration will be continued. Okay, see, when continue keyword is encountered, any loop control would automatically passes to the beginning of the loop. Now this one you will clearly understand when I show the programming examples. So it causes to jump to the start of the following iteration. The general format how to write is continue followed by the semicolon. These jumping statement is very important, children. They may ask you for 5 marks. Write a short note on jumping statements. That is time you should write about break. What is its purpose? Write the general syntax and write the one small program segment. Similarly for the exit and the continue and go to statement. Okay. Now let me explain here. This is the program. Okay. This is a program where we are using the that is continue statement. You see here, I have written the header files and a variable has been taken of type integer, clear screen. I have set the counter variable n. This time I have not taken as I. N I have taken. N is equal to 10 and n is greater than 0. Until the n value is greater than 0, the loop has to iterate. And I am decrementing the n value. That means what? For the first time it will be 10. Because we are using the decrement, second time it will be 9. 9 is greater than 0. Yes. Again iteration. Again loop becomes what? Decremented. That means what? It will become 8. Again 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Up to what? 0. Up to 1 it will. When it comes to 0 is greater than 0, the condition will becomes false. Once the condition is false, the control automatically jumps to the next statement of this for, wherein it should print me as end of count. Therefore you can see the output here. This is how I got. Now what happens here? See, when the counter variable gets 5, okay, when the n value is 5, 5 is greater than 0, the condition is true. It makes an entry into the loop here. If 5 is equals to 5 when it encounters, yes, the condition is true. On satisfying this condition, the control jumps to the next statement. Remember, children, this is two different statements. See, if will not have term, then you may ask why it's written in single line. This is a correct format only. If doesn't have semicolon, if cannot have a termination, and this continue should have a termination with those. Therefore, they have been written in the same line, but still it is a valid. If so, it encounters a continue. That is 5 is equal to 5, it encounters continue. And when it encounters the continue, it will skip, this part will be skipped. It will not print the 5 value. In fact, the control goes to the decrementation of n value and it will go for 4 n value. Again 4 is greater than 0, condition is true. Whether 4 is equals to 5, the condition is failed. Once this condition is failed, continue will never execute. Control goes to the next statement where we are printing the n value. Now let me explain this one with the tracing. Look at here, children. The n value what I have taken here is 10. Okay. Now this is a program code I have written so that we can compare here and I can show you the tracing. Now n value is 10. Whether 10 is greater than 0, yes, the condition is true. On satisfying this for condition, I am making an entry into the loop where I am checking the that is n value, that is 10. Whether 10 is equal to 5, the condition is false. On condition, this condition if it is false means the true part of this if condition will never execute, which is continue. Now actually in your program it is in the same line, but actually it is a different line. So what is the true part of this if statement is continue. If this condition is not true, the true part of statement will be skipped and control goes to the next statement. Remember this point. Understood? Now this condition is not satisfying, therefore continue will never execute and control jumps to the next statement. What is there in the next statement? Where it is printing the value of n, that is 10 is printed. Therefore in output we got here as what? The 10 is printed. After that Again the control iterates because we are still within the for loop. The condition is true, right? N value becomes 9. 9 is greater than 0. To condition is true. It makes an enter whether 9 is equal to 5. No, condition is fails. So it will skip the continue true part and control goes to printing. Therefore 9 is printed. Similarly for this iteration where n value gets decremented. So 8. It becomes 8 is greater than 0. Yes, the condition is true. On satisfying, it is checking whether 8 is equals to 5. The condition is false. So continue will not execute. Control, it prints the value of n, that is 8. Again the control gets decremented. Sorry, the n value gets decremented. Therefore the n value is 7 here. Whether 7 is greater than 0? Yes. Again it checks whether 7 is equal to 7. Condition is false. So the control skips this continue and 7 is printed. Similarly it happens with 6. Now look at this when it comes to this particular iteration, 6th iteration. At this point of time, what is the value of n children? That's 5. 5 is greater than 0. Yes, the condition is true. On satisfying, we are checking the condition. If 5 is equals to 5, the condition is true. On satisfying this condition, continue will be executed. Now this continue, the main functionality is that it will skip the current iteration and control goes back to the next iteration. Means from this, the control will directly go for decrementation of the n value. It will not print further. The control will not allow to execute the further statements. Instead, that iteration only will be skipped and the control goes back to the decrementation of in which is there in the for loop. Therefore, we can see in the output 5 will never get printed. See the output, 5 is been skipped. Therefore, continue is a statement if we halfway, if we want to skip the loop, okay, and if we want that new iteration has to begin, then we should use a jumping statement, that is continue. Again, see, when it comes to 7th iteration, 4 is greater than 0. Yes, the condition is true. Again it checks whether 4 is equals to 5. The condition is false. Continue will never execute. In fact, the control goes and decrements. So 3 it becomes. 3 is greater than 0. Yes, 3 is equal to 5. No. Again n gets decremented. When n gets decremented, it becomes 2. 2 is equal to 5. False. 2 is printed. Decrementation. Okay, 1 will get printed, again decrementation. 0 is greater than 0. The condition is false, children. Once the condition is false, the control completely comes out of that particular loop. And once after the control comes out of the loop, what it is the next statement as per the program? As per the program, the next statement is cout end of count. Therefore, in the output you can see that is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 is skipped. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1 and end of count. It's not that you can write this one only with 5. You can take any number. Okay, within the if loop, what I have given it as 5, you can change the number and you can take some other value. Okay, let me execute this program, children, for you so that you can clearly understand. Let me open that code for you. Let us continue. I'll just open. See, this is the same program. Okay, I'll just compile it. I got 0 errors. Just I'll run the code. See, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4. 5 is skipped. 3, 2, 1 and we got as end of count. Now I'll change the value and show you. This is 5 I made, no? Let me make it as 9. I'll make it as 9, but I need to save it. Save. Okay. 1 second. Yes, I've saved it. I'll just run the code. I've made it as 9, right? 9 should be skipped. See, I got 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and end of count. Like this, you can use the continue statement. You can even change the range also. You can even change. Now let me make this one as 5. Okay, I want the limit, I'll set it to only to 5 I'll set. If I'm setting for 5, Definitely 9 would never encounters, and all the value it gets printed. Now I'll change this one also. I'll make it as 2. I'll make it as 2. Okay, and then I'll just save it. Okay, and then I'll run the code. See, the limit is also changed. 5, 4. Okay, 3, 2 is skipped and 1 is printed, and end of count. Like this, in different ways we can use the continuous statement. I hope, children, today's class was very much interesting with the jumping statement. In my next video, I shall cover the last jumping statement, that would be the go to. Take care of yourselves, children. Thank you.